Well, I have to tell you that I was much relieved at 3:01 yesterday afternoon after the court ruling came out. I barely took a breath. I have been saying all along that I thought the court would recognize what we had done both last year and this year as a good faith effort, and that they would accept what we had done and give us a chance to come back next session to make any tweaks that we need to do, and that's exactly what they did. I'm also very proud of the fact that they found the formula itself to be valid, and that's important. I have some ownership on that. I worked with a moderate Republican last summer, actually putting together the template for that school formula, and so I'm very glad that they accepted the work that we did. I think we did overturn the brown bag tax cuts last year. The feds have also made a number of changes on taxes. We really don't know the impact of that, and we won't know until sometime mid-next year. I think we need to let the dust settle on that before we start talking about raising any taxes of any sort. I think we actually have been exceeding revenues over estimates for the past 11 months. And I think what we're going to need to do in January is to dip into that somewhat to meet the court demand. What the court is really saying is that you did a good job, except that you did not take into account any cost of living increases over those years. And so that's what we need to do. We need to go calculate what it should have been if we had used the cost of living index. And then we need to fund it to that level going out the next 4 years. I think they're giving us a pass on this current year, but then the next 4 years we'll need to do that. So I think we've got the resources there to take care of that. I think we get a new governor, we can actually start growing this economy again, and without raising taxes, be able to bring more revenue to the state by just broadening our tax base. And that should help us fund our schools and so many other vital programs that have been underfunded for the last 8 years.
I was actually in the legislature along with Senator Kelly, and then at the time, actually I think all 4 of us were in the legislature at the same time. The last time our school finance plan was constitutional, which was kind of the mid-2000s. And so it was no huge surprise that the court basically accepted this plan. This was, of course, moving beyond the block grant system that had happened in those very dark years in 2012 when so much passed the legislature so quickly. And so it wasn't a surprise that we went back to something that was largely reminiscent of the '92 school finance plan, which is probably as close as we're going to get to something that's equal across the state. I mean, the fundamental challenge is, how do you address school districts that are poorer than school districts that are wealthy? And we were at a forum the other evening in Osage County, but it was a joint forum with Osage, Franklin, and Coffee County. So there were individuals from Burlington there, which is either the most or the second richest district in the state because of the presence of Wolf Creek nuclear power plant, right next door to Osage County, which has several school districts that are very low valuation. And so it's our charge as state lawmakers to make that as equal as possible. It's never going to be perfect, but we have to do our very best. And I'm not terribly surprised, too, that the court gave another year to this. It actually allows an incoming governor to work with the legislature and make any fixes that are necessary. And the big one that we're talking about is, this was a stepped-in plan over 5 years. It's probably the best that the legislature could do given the financial constraints of the state. And I think the big challenge moving forward is how we balance the needs of K through 12, which we've clearly underfunded, with the needs of every other state agency, which, guess what? We've also grossly underfunded or almost even starved for the last 8 years. And so it's not going to be easy, because as much as we want to give more to K through 12, we also have to fund mental health services. We also have to fund the Department of Children and Families. We also have to fund corrections officers. We have monies that we've been robbing out of KDOT for years. And if we want anything resembling a statewide transportation plan, we have to stop moving funds out of KDOT to get that done. And so the next 4 years are actually not going to be really fun, because it's almost every dollar that we bring in that we didn't realize was coming in is accounted for because of the financial mess that's happened in the last 8 years. But it's going to take balance. And I do think there are some bright spots on the horizon. Our 2 big engines in the economy, agricultural and oil and gas. Oil and gas is picking back up. It's amazing what happens to the state budget when you get to $70 oil. And ag is right at the bottom right now, but as an eternally optimistic farmer, surely we're going to start climbing back up out of that in the next couple of years.